Yoo-hoo, and thanks for tuning in to another awful movie review. This is part 1 of this new series on bad giant monster movies. Now, I've only reviewed a couple kaijus on this channel, just because, to be honest, they're not my thing. But since Yongary, Monster from the Deep, has been requested by a surprising amount of people, here we go.
I guess so. There's apparently no choice.
This low-budget schlockmeister is South Korea's response to Godzilla, and that is anything but an achievement to be proud of. If I were Korean, I think I would have revoked my own citizenship and rather be stateless than to be associated with this messy clunker.
It looks like everyone has agreed on one important point, gentlemen.
But before we dive into this kaiju stinker, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment for a bad giant monster movie request. And if you value what I do and you want to help support me, please check out my Patreon in the description.
That would be very pleasant, but don't count on it.
Since the heart has a yearning for the unknown, if you're interested in unanswered stories of UFOs visiting Earth, bone-chilling evidence of paranormal activity, or some of the most famous murder cases gone cold, then head over to the podcast Weird Darkness, sponsoring this video. You'll find all sorts of ghoulish, blood-curdling, and most of all fascinating stories of the macabre, 7 days a week. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or go directly to their website using the link in the description down below. So, Yongary takes place in Korea, where a huge earthquake ravages some parts of the country. But it turns out to be the least of their problems because from under the ground comes a giant, fire-breathing lizard from Korean folklore named Yongary. And he's here to do all the kaiju stuff you'd expect. Stomp on buildings and destroy everything in sight.
When I was a child, my grandparents used to tell me fables about the monster. He was connected with earthquakes. Yongary? That's the one.
Oh well, if your senile old grandfather tells you about a giant mythical lizard roaming around the area, then I'm taking that explanation over any scientist's opinion.
Well, it's beginning to look like you are right, General.
I love it how the military personnel jump to conclusions so quickly, calling the whole population to evacuate the cities in fear of a monster attack.
What's that?
It's Yongary.
The mysterious moving earthquake has been identified as being caused by a gigantic reptile. This monster Yongary...
And all that on the basis of a blurry picture taken during a mass commotion? Quick, there's no time to waste. Gotta send in those miniature tanks before Yongary can reach the city. I sure can't seem to find where they got the inspiration for that electric post scene. And I just can't help but notice that this film has one of the most awful looking car crashes I've ever witnessed in a movie. Yeah, Yongary looks pretty goofy.
Sir, do you have a statement for the press?
He's a slow, lumbering monster. The screams aren't synchronized very well because sometimes they'll play them before the actor in the suit even opens his mouth.
And I'm very much afraid of one thing.
But the biggest facepalming blooper though is the revealing pipe inside Yongary's throat when he's breathing fire. I tried to give the special effects crew a pass by thinking it was just part of Yongary's throat, but no, I can't. It just looks too obvious. Although, I will say that being able to shoot lasers from his horns, which saws vehicles and planes in half, was pretty cool. Oh, and I'm curious. When this guy's grandpa was telling stories of Yongary, did he mention that the giant monster also has an appetite for rock music playing out of nowhere? This scene is so random and absurd, I couldn't believe my eyes. Just like it's impossible to talk about Godzilla vs. Megalon without mentioning that kick scene, it's hard not to mention this absurd sequence when reviewing Yongary.
It is just a little ridiculous, you'll admit.
Now, don't get me wrong, I can watch a good kaiju, but good kaiju this film is not. Even for die-hard fans of the genre, you may want to skip this one. The characters are so irrelevant and one-dimensional that I kept forgetting their own existence every time they left the screen.
Oh, I hear rumors about you and Evo.
Oh, that would be like falling in love with a computer almost.
Your father was equally dedicated, but he died of overwork.
He's going to be as famous as his father was.
What a bunch of jerks. Why are they roasting him like that?
You call him a monster just because of the things he did.
You know, I'm sorry too. I wonder if he really meant to hurt us.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming. They actually dared to pull that one on us. Even if all his destruction was self-defense, Yongary still smashed your country to pieces and killed a bunch of innocent people, and you want to give him a second chance. You think his heart was in the right place. Is that what you're telling me? Also, I'm surprised this movie got a dubbing job in English, and while the quality of the audio is alright, the voice acting itself is pretty terrible.
Oh, Mother, I'm so scared.
Wow, the emotions of fear and angst are very palpable in this woman. And it struck me that the characters have varying accents even though they're all supposed to be Korean. You've got people with Asian accents.
This is an emergency announcement. An earthquake is expected in this area. Do not panic.
And then there were some American accents.
If those missiles go, they could destroy one of the truly great landmarks of old Korea.
Some British accents. And does this guy sound slightly Italian or is it just me?
Goodbye, everybody.
So yeah, I think calling this a dubbing job is an overstatement.
That'll put him out of business. And it's about time.
And that kid is just let loose to run wherever he pleases.
I wonder where Ichu is. I don't know.
This is a dire situation, a matter of life and death, and the family somehow didn't notice that their kid wasn't even with them. The little guy is just let loose and no one notices, to the point where he winds up awaking Yongary once again, and more buildings get destroyed and more people die. Great.
I hope, gentlemen, you will allow me a word.
So yeah, I think the message of this kaiju piece of crap is to keep your kids in line and don't let them become idiots.
Didn't your mother ever teach you not to shoplift?
Well, stay tuned for part 2 of this bad giant monster movie series. What an awful movie.